Start. All right. Good morning, Ernie Burns. Round 2.
Right?
Round 2. So you were just telling me a second ago, and if anybody's watching this now, we wasn't picking Ernie's voice up enough on the mic, so I adjusted everything. So we're gonna do a double take on that. And so let's start all the way over.
Okay.
Ernie Burns, who are you? Where are you from?
Okay. Well, for some Ernie Burns.
Ernie Burns. Ernie what? Do you have a middle name? Middle initial?
Yes, James.
James. Ernie James Burns. That's
Ernest, actually.
Ernest?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just always thought it was
Ernie. Yeah, everybody knows me as Ernie.
But well, I mean, I guess Ernie is the short for Ernest. I never even thought about that. Did you get that name from your dad, or
no?
Is it in your family?
From an uncle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of how it happened. Uncles or grandfathers who pass the names on.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So you were born where?
In Titusville, Pennsylvania.
Titusville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Titusville has a lot of history.
Yeah.
Titusville is where the first oil well ever was drilled in the world. Colonel Edwin L. Drake had drilled that in 1859.
1859. See, I've heard of Edward L. Drake, and he must have did a bunch of more stuff because I never heard about that.
Well, that was the main thing he did.
That was the main thing?
Yeah, it was the main thing. Yeah. And then the Don Heisman, with the Heisman Trophy,
yeah,
was raised in Titusville, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So quite a bit of history right there.
Yeah, I mean, the Heisman Trophy, everybody knows about the Heisman Trophy. I mean, if you're a football fan,
I used to deliver to the newspaper to not his relative at his house he was born in.
Oh, no shit. So you used to deliver newspapers?
Yes.
How long did you live in Titusville, Pennsylvania?
Well, I was born in I was born in Titusville Hospital. Then for 15 years we lived on a farm about 15 miles from Titusville.
Okay.
And of course we was my dad and mom were what I would say old school, because they were like, Dad was in World War II and mom was she never worked. She was a stay-at-home mom. So I was born there, and then of course we moved to Titusville when I was about 15.
Yeah.
The actual town, which then I became a city boy. Which that about killed me. I won't lie.
How big is so Titusville is a big town?
No, Titusville's a small town.
Oh.
It's about 4,500 people.
But you were living in town now compared to on a farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was really a shock for me. You know, I was raised in one place till I was 15.
Okay.
We never moved.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we moved. Dad got older. He retired. Was getting into retirement age because I was the last of 6 kids.
Oh, no kidding. What'd your dad do?
He worked at the steel mill.
Oh, at the steel mill.
And
okay.
Of course, did the farming.
Yeah.
So he did both. And of course, mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Took care of us 6 kids.
6 kids. You got how many brothers and sisters? I know 6 altogether, but I mean, how many of them was boys and how many of them was girls?
I got 2 sisters.
Okay.
And then I have 4 brothers. Or
3 brothers. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And you're the baby.
And I'm the
baby. Does any of your other brothers and sisters live around here, or do they all live in Pennsylvania?
I have one brother that lives in Terrell.
In Terrell? Okay.
Yeah. And then the rest of them, well, a couple of them have passed, but they pretty much not stayed. They stayed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Stayed about 30 miles for the most part from where we were raised.
Oh, no kid.
But my sister, who comes out quite often.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
That's the one I'm probably the closest with.
So you graduated in Titusville, Pennsylvania, or?
I did.
Okay. Graduated high school. Yep. You play any sports?
I did. I wrestled.
You wrestled?
I wrestled.
Oh,
track.
Yeah. What'd you run in the track?
The mile and the 2 mile.
Oh, were you any good?
I went to districts.
Oh, no shit.
So.
When we get older and you meet people, because I think the first time I met you, I was probably, I think I'm 44 now. I think I was, about 37, 38. And, I mean, you get older and you look back at the days and like, hey man, I used to do this. And you're like, fucker, you don't do that. I mean, come on. You're not in no way in shape to run a mile. And I'll be honest, I can't run a mile right now.
Well, the weird thing is, like right now, I know I'm heavier and stuff, but I can walk and just keep walking. Like if I decided to go walk today, I could walk until.
Oh, no kidding?
It's weird. I have that ability. I don't know why.
So
with the running, I could at that time. Now, of course, I'm not going to be doing no running.
Yeah. So do you ever do any hiking?
I don't too much.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I was walking a couple miles a day.
Oh, no shit. Man.
I need to really
Yeah.
get back to that.
Walking's good for you.
Yeah, that was getting me healthy. I
Yeah.
lost a bunch of weight doing that.
Oh, I saw you when you were doing your sidewalk out there. I'm sure you lost weight doing that.
Well, that was just for my health.
Yeah.
It was weird. My blood pressure would shoot up. If I'd go vigorously exercise, it bring my blood pressure down.
Oh, no shit.
So I just decided, well, every time my blood pressure went up, I'd go out there and mow the garden to get it back down.
So you graduated high school in Titusville, Pennsylvania.
In 79.
79. That's a year after I was born.
Yeah.
Yes, I was born in 1978, on April 4th, which is tomorrow. And then what'd you do after high school?
Well, I was in a program called vocational education.
Yeah.
And I had done plumbing and heating in that.
Okay.
And so first in high school, I did the newspaper. Get up at 4 in the morning, deliver for a couple hours.
How many people did you have on your list?
About 150.
150 newspaper every morning?
Yes, and we walked.
Oh shit!
There was no riding bike. There was no cars.
How much did you get paid per newspaper, or is it not like that?
No, it wasn't very much.
Yeah.
But I did buy my first car
out of the newspaper. No kidding. Man, at one point in time, I want to say my mom helped somebody deliver newspapers, and it's a tedious job. I mean, you go from door to door to door to door, and just dropping newspapers.
That town delivered them by foot.
Yeah.
At 4 in the morning, which would be crazy today. 15-year-old out there delivering newspapers at 4 in the morning. I don't think people would allow you to do that too much anymore.
I don't know. Don't we have a curfew that age group can't be out at certain hours?
I think we do. Probably midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have to make that exception.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the difference. I mean, that's the difference in that time and our times now. Is, kids got up and did shit, and now it's like, hey, we don't want you out here by yourself.
But that probably helped me a lot, because you think about it, you walking that kind of mileage.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was hill. We were based, we're in the hills of Pennsylvania, so a lot of that was uphill.
Okay.
And downhill, of course. But I guess that probably kept me in shape, probably while I was able to run.
Oh yeah.
Because
yeah, that's if you wake up every morning. I mean, it's like a mini workout every morning.
A 5-mile hike, you're going to be in pretty good shape, which helped me a lot. I mean, that was me pushing for that. I always wanted to.
Yeah.
I like to work. I mean, I started working when I was on the farm before 15. We did haying, we did the throwing of the bales, and that type of thing. That's how.
Yeah. So let's go to the farm real quick. What kind of farm did you have? I mean, you said, hey, I was thinking like a garden farm where you had potatoes and stuff like that.
We did have that. We with 6 kids back in them days, with Dad only working, we had to raise a lot. We raised most of our food.
Yeah.
So we gardened most of our vegetables and all that. Then we had a beef cow, and then we had pigs, and we had milk cows, which they milked. I never got the option of doing that, but our brothers actually milked my hand.
Yeah.
And my sister, and then we had goats. We just had all the everything. We were pretty. My mother made at one time she for the most part baked bread and made the butter. Then we started buying butter from my uncle at the time.
So you churned your own butter?
My mother did. Actually,
yeah.
I remember when my mother got her first washing machine. It wasn't what do you call it?
A hand washer? Or
the washer.
A Whirlpool?
No, it was the Whirlpool. You know how they used to roll the clothes through?
Oh no, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Like they would hand crank the washing machine?
Wash some clothes and then you'd put them in there and they'd crank them through.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and then she'd hang them on the
line. Oh, I do know what you're talking about. That's how they dried them out, because it cranked through there and squeezed it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the name of that washer.
I don't know.
In the appliance business.
Yeah, in the appliance business.
But she, my mother was, even though she didn't work outside the house, she was a hard worker.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
6 kids.
6 kids. Yeah, if you're trying to keep your house up, and especially with the level of technology it was back then, and that they didn't have phones and Facebook and TVs and everything.
Well, they had phone. We had with the party line.
Yeah, but
party line.
Yeah, I do remember the party line. Yeah, I learned a lot over the party line in East Texas.
Hey, you couldn't hide stuff. If you wanted to talk to a girl, you had to be careful what you said.
Yes, you did.
The neighbors were gonna hear what.
Oh yeah, everybody was people. It was like a semi matinee sometimes. You get on there and listen to all these people's conversations.
Pick up the phone,
Yeah.
You had to be real quiet.
Yeah.
Back down real quiet. Or then you have to say, if something going on, excuse me, I need to use the phone.
Yeah.
Because, that's what the women, back in the day, the party line, the women with the phone was their out, so to speak. Because, they all lived out there in the country. And so they didn't have the cell phones and all that.
Yes.
So but I was raised very, very old.
Yeah.
Very, very old.
So you moved from the farm, went to town, newspaper job, graduated high school.
Yeah.
And you graduated high school in 1979.
1979.
I want to just put this out there. Being this tomorrow's my birthday and I feel old. You're old, Ernie.
Yeah. Yeah, I hit 60 last year. So.
Yeah, hit 60. Well, you know what? That's not, to me, setting at 44 tomorrow, 60 doesn't feel that far, and it doesn't feel that old.
And here's the thing about me, and I've bringing with I've told my wife, if I ever start thinking old, I can be old, but I can't be thinking old.
Yeah.
If I start thinking old, you tell me.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I want to be. I hate to use progressive because
that's. But it's true. It's what it is.
I want to be. Yeah.
Sort of like Teddy Roosevelt's old party. You got to think of it like that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be that guy that holds things back because I'm just an old curmudgeon. And we have had that.
Oh yeah. We had it when I was growing up.
Had that then. I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, and they did a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Van's a good town.
Van is a good town. So let's get how you got here. So you turned around, graduated high school, and started a job.
Well, I started a job.
Yeah.
I was working for a pipe and supply company.
Pipe and supply company.
And then I went into business for myself at age 22. A gentleman came in, and I was constantly, I did not want to work for somebody.
Okay.
I'd made up my mind of that back when I was probably 16, that I was going to go in, and my family as a whole, none of my brothers and sisters they all worked for somebody else.
Okay.
And I had made up my mind I was going to break out of that. I wanted to be, it was like freedom.
Yeah.
So at 22, a guy walked in where I was working, and he said, "Hey, I'm a plumber. I've got a storage business where we clean drains."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "I will sell you the equipment, and and then of course you get the clientele to clean the drain."
Yeah.
So he sold that to me for $3,500. So I worked for $48 for the day at that time, and I would go out and clean one drain in the evening and make $49.
Oh.
So I continued to work for that company another year, probably a couple years.
Yeah.
But I cleaned drains in the evening, and how I got started.
How many did you end up cleaning a day before you quit the other job? Was it 2 or 3, or were you
we do probably couple in the evening, sometimes.
But
sometimes 3, sometimes none,
Yeah.
I mean, it would just depend on, because we were in a town where a lot of old clay type pipes.
Yeah.
Tree roots growing in the drain.
So how would you do that? Was you doing it with like a old pressure washer type system?
It's an electric eel machine. It's basically rotary.
Oh, okay, like an auger. I got you.
Actually, I still have that machine.
Do you still have it?
I have my original machine.
No shit.
And I still use it from time to time.
Do you still use it? It's got a little electric motor on there, I take it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got an electric motor. You put the rods on there, and they can just put them in the drain until it hits the plug, and then you're done.
Damn. So let's see, that'd be 41 years old, 42 years old?
Well, no, about 38.
About 38? Okay.
Yeah.
Man. And it still works. That's old engineering. We've had a conversation about that last week. So you went from there, and
then I had decided that same plumber come in and said, "Hey, you want to work for me? Plumbing?" Because that's what I did in school. And I was going to do the plumbing. So I started out working for him, and I worked for him maybe 6 months. And I'd go to his house, and I'd listen to him and his wife fight for the first 3 hours, and I didn't get paid. So I said, "Well, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to," because I was getting a lot of, my agreement was I wouldn't take his business, any plumbing business.
Yeah.
Well, I would sit there and listen to them fight when we could have been working and making money. People were calling me and asking me to do jobs.
Yeah.
And I was because him and his wife were fighting. So I said, you know what? I'm going to quit you and I'm going to go
start your own thing.
Yeah. And his exact words were, I wouldn't make a pimple on his rear end.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he told me.
So,
I quit. And I said, well, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to be the biggest pimple you ever had on your rear end. and guess what? He had one truck, and then within a year, I had 3.
Oh, shit. What was the name of it?
Titusville Plumbing.
Titusville Plumbing.
And so I started on the plumbing, and then I went on into heating, got my license, got my master's plumbing license.
Oh, no shit.
So then from there, I just built a business. But then we had a steel mill in the town there where we worked, and it hired 1,000 men. That's where my dad had worked. And so you think about 1,000 men in a town the size of Wilkes Point.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty big. That's pulling from a lot of areas. Well, then that steel mill shut down.
Oh, that's
when that steel mill shut down, it was, them are the guys that were making the money. So now the plumbing business and all that kind of started going south. And I was already wanting to move. I was wanting to move to a warmer spot.
Yeah.
So I had my dad said, "Well, can you hang in?" My mom had died there.
Oh, okay.
And he said that I'm older and can you not move right away? So I chose not to move, which I'm glad I did because I got more time.
Yeah.
But then after he passed on, when he passed on, my brother came. I was getting ready to move to South Carolina.
Okay.
My brother come back from Texas, and he said,
"What year was this?"
Maybe 92.
92. Okay.
91. Well, 91 when he came back when Dad died.
Okay.
92 when I moved. And he said, "Well, why don't you move to Texas? Because there'll be family there."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay." So when business slowed down up there, I had with the plumbing a year or so before that, I started. That's how I got into appliances. Because I was basically starving out.
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, okay, well, I'll add something in." So I started picking up appliances.
Okay.
And I got with the guy that sold maybe 30 or 40 a week, and then his used he'd have the old ones, and they would be broken, and so I'd pick them up and redo them.
Yeah.
And so that's when I moved here. I shipped 2 truckloads of appliances.
Oh, no shit.
That I shipped
18-wheeler truckloads or
18-wheeler
of appliances that need to be fixed or fixed.
I'd already fixed them. I was planning ahead so that when I got here, all I had to do was locate a building.
Yeah.
And so I got here, and I had 2 kids at the time.
What building did you?
I did a big building in Terrell.
In Terrell, okay.
Big building.
Yeah.
120 by 60 all cement. It was a very nice building. At any rate, so right away I had no money. When I got here, I was in a pop-up camper.
Okay.
On my brother's property. I didn't have a lot of money. By the time I got settled, I had like $1,100 to get started.
Oh, no shit.
That was pretty, I had kids to feed.
Yeah.
I had a lot.
Yeah.
But I got the building rented, got everything going, got that. And so I had, I was hoping for an instant income. But I was young then, so, to get into that instant income, I could just go do something, I could go work.
Yeah.
So, but at any rate, we took off, and I started business in Terrell.
So the name of it was?
Just a Burns Appliance.
Burns Appliance, okay.
Same as it is now.
Same it is now.
Yep.
So you set up shop, and was it easy right off the bat, was people buying your appliances left and right? Did they find you easy, or?
Yeah, because I was right on the main drag. Not the main drag, but I was on
80?
Nash Street.
Okay.
One street off of 80.
One street off of 80. I got you.
And so I had business instantly, and a lot of it, and it was weird. The African American people coming in and dealing with me more than the normal. And one lady said to me, she said, "You're not from here, are you?" I said, "No." And she goes, "Because you just don't act like it." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, because you treat." I said, "Right, you treat differently." I said, "Well, I don't understand what you're saying." I guess, from the South, sometimes they, it was bad,
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I just treat people like humans."
Yeah. That's
We're
the
all
goal.
human.
Yep.
We're all Americans, and so
That is the goal that everybody needs to strive for, is to treat everybody like
but I mean,
humans.
but at any rate, so I did business there for several years, and then actually when I got there, my brother invited me here, and he left like in 6 months. He was in the military, so they
Oh,
shipped him
okay.
out.
I got you.
He got moved, and so he didn't really move back to Terrell until he right before his retirement.
Okay.
But at any rate, so that I was alone anyway. I could have went to South Carolina, but I went to Terrell. But so I did Terrell in Terrell there. But I had, I had done a lot of studying. And I wanted to be in the rental business.
The rental business?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's
What does that mean, though? The rental appliances?
no rental of like
Oh, houses and stuff.
houses. Or
Okay.
I wanted to buy some either houses or mobile homes
Yeah.
or something, and I wanted to get started.
Okay.
So I just started as I was going to, I was doing furniture and appliances. And
Mhm.
so I'd go to the auctions, and as I was going to the auctions, I was buying stuff. I was buying paint, I was buying lumber, so that if
Okay.
I did get there, to my point, I would be ready to go. I'd already have things that I could bring home.
I got you.
So
And you're a master plumber in Pennsylvania, right? So
I was, but
yeah.
I didn't follow in here.
Yeah, it doesn't transition, I don't believe.
No, it doesn't.
But I mean, you have
And
the
I decided I did
experience.
not want to do that.
But in that business, though, you have the experience to if you do well at this point, when you get into business, you know how to fix your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I kind of knew how to do business a little bit better. I was 22. Nobody been in business. Nobody showed me how. And so, it was pretty rough the first few years because, I had to learn.
Yeah.
One thing I did learn in business is that, in the first 5 to 7 years, it's not how much money it's not how many people you hire and how much money you bring in. It's how much money you get to keep.
That's right. That is the goal.
If you bring in $1 million and you was $1 million in one spent, you didn't make any money.
Nope, you did not make any money.
Bring in 200,000 and you kept 150,000. Now you made money.
You are correct.
And so I had to learn that. I learned that the hard way because I had no advice.
How old were you when you moved to Terrell?
31.
31. Okay. 31 years old. So
2 kids at the time.
Yeah. So how'd you get from Terrell to here?
Well, I chugged along in Terrell.
Yeah.
I had met I went to give you a little story about Terrell there, and then that's how I got here, though.
Okay.
I was started going to a church up there, Word of Life Church. We met a guy that is now, well, he's since passed in the last year, but he was like my he turned out to be like a father to me in the end. He had a lot of my father's traits, so he was like a grandparent to my kids. But at any rate, I was working there in Terrell, and then I decided I was going to buy some mobile homes. So I bought some mobile homes, and I put them in it was called Village East Mobile Home Park up there in Terrell.
Okay.
And and in fact, that's just a little story there how I got them, because it was I had an option to buy 2 mobile homes, and I didn't have no money at the time.
Okay.
I was just getting started, and so I went to I was going to church, which I am a Christian, and I'm not a perfect Christian.
I don't think. Yeah.
But at any rate, I was going to church, and I I was really getting solid, and so I was trying to figure out how I was going to get the money to buy the mobile home. So I walked to the back of my shop on my knees, and I said, Lord, I've worked with this now. This is for you to figure out. So I really got back up, and within a week, the guy called me. Kind, very kind, and he said, Ernie, he said, I've been wanting to get in the rental business for a long time, but I've never done it. But I could, and I know you talked about it, and if you get an option to buy something, he said, I've got the money already.
Oh, no kidding.
Just out of the blue.
Look at that. And
just
so you,
to me, that was American.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I said, oh, well, okay. And so I borrowed the money from him to get started. And then we ended up, after I bought them 2 and got them all fixed up, then I said, well, why don't you do it? I'll help you. So he decided to buy home. He bought one, and I helped him fix it up. I just helped him because he helped me.
Yeah.
Even though I take it back, he helped me. So I was that up, and then we both fixed up mobile homes, and we got to 7 apiece, and they wanted to raise the rent up there so high.
So altogether, y'all got 14.
We had 14 between the two of them.
14 trailer houses in the what'd you call it?
Village East.
Village East.
Yeah.
That's almost how many places? How many spots did they have?
Oh, they had.
Oh, so it was 100. Well, it must be a big mobile home park.
It is. It's still.
Oh, no kidding.
It's not Village East anymore. I don't even know what it is. But at any rate, so they raised the rent, and I said, "Well, damn, we could buy our own stuff. We could do our own thing."
Yeah.
I said, "Why don't we just buy our own?" And he said, "Okay." I said, "Okay. You really want to do this?" Because he was going to sell out because he was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
I said, "No, don't sell out. Let's sell ours and go buy our own place."
Okay.
And so he said, "You want to do it?" I said, "Yeah, tomorrow. We're going to work on it tomorrow. If that's what you want." That's kind of the way I do.
Yeah, you made your mind up. It's time to go.
It's time to go.
Yep.
So the next morning, I jumped in my truck and started driving, looking for places to buy.
Just driving around.
Just driving around.
Okay.
I took a map. I said, "Okay, circle 50 miles of radius." That's what I did.
And you found van?
And I found it.
Oh, no kidding. So where else did you go?
Emory, you name it, 7 Points.
Yeah.
There was 50-mile radius.
Then what made Van stick out?
Dallas.
You didn't go to Dallas, yeah. So what made Van stick out?
It had there was 3. I found 3. Van had the largest acreage, the least amount of money, and the best for expansion.
I got you. And what year was this?
I don't know, probably 90, late 90s.
Late 90s.
So
Okay.
then we were partners there for a long time. So then he decided he wanted to retire. So then I bought him.
Okay. And how many, when you started here in Van, how many houses did you have?
We had like 4 of our own, and then we had, I think 13.
13?
That was on the property.
Okay. So you brought 4 trailer houses and you bought 13 that was already here.
No, 13 they were owned by.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So, and we're talking about South Bulldog, right?
Yeah.
Is that where you stayed at?
Yeah.
And at that point, that was before the tornado. So, I mean,
way before the tornado.
Yeah. So that whole strip had the old oil field houses on it. And then, and then you go on back and then you have, so is all that land owned by one person, or is it just like I don't know how trailer parks work. I don't know if it's
the trailer park I own.
Okay. So the whole, the land from the corner all the way to the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Originally, did you own it?
Yeah.
So when you
there
bought
7 acres there.
There was 7 acres and you bought that, and then other people rent and have trailers on your land. Is that how that works?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
I mean, you can do both ways. You can
Okay.
put your own on there. We put a lot of our own on there.
Yeah. But originally, you bought the land and it already had some trailers on it. 13. And those are owned by either individuals there or owned.
Yes, they were owned by individuals.
Okay. So they put their trailer house on your land.
Yes, and they were paying like $60 and $65.
Okay, which is it's just you're buying a plot. It doesn't
You're renting the land.
Yeah, it doesn't come with electricity and sewage and everything else.
Yes, it did.
Oh, so
they had the ones that were there had that.
Yeah.
Then we had to add that in on a lot of them.
Oh, okay, I
The
got
ones
you.
that are there, a lot of them.
So how many how many do you have now? I mean, you started out with 2 that you own personally, right? 4.
Yeah.
And now you're up to how many?
We have I think we're right at 30.
30? All on that strip?
Well, there's more than 30 there. There's some still owned by them.
Okay.
So I think there's 38 there maybe.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know it was that many.
Yeah. There's 44 lots.
Have you thought about ever expanding in another side of town or a different direction?
No.
And is that area that's right out of the city limits, right?
No,
that's in the city limits? And it's zoned for trailer houses?
Yeah.
See, I don't know nothing about it. I just know there's a couple of trailer houses in Van that I believe are grandfathered in.
No, that's zone mobile home.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what that is.
Is there any other zone mobile home spots in Van?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, actually the rules, I don't know when they changed that, but they changed that we're no mobile home.
Yeah.
Except for in the designated mobile home park, which would be me.
Yeah. So you own that whole spot. So if anybody wants to bring a mobile home into van itself, they got to put it on your spot.
Well, yeah, I want this outside the city limit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't know that. See, I don't know. Yeah. That's good history to me.
Yeah.
So you moved here, you bought it, you brought your kids.
Well, I lived in Elmo for a long time. I drove back and forth.
All right.
Because that's where I lived there, and of course, I have to be the guy. My partner lived in Elmo too, but
yeah,
he never did move.
Okay.
But yeah, I drove back and forth, and so Christian, and Danielle, my youngest, they used to come with me to work.
I got you.
Before even school.
Yeah.
And they would hang out while I worked.
And I mean, in the mobile home renting business, basically you're just, going in and replacing stuff, taking stuff out when people move, and fixing
I was
issues.
buying mobile homes and fixing them and renting.
Okay. How do you do that? I mean, do you find a cheap mobile home, evaluate how much it's going to cost you, and then how much it's going to cost you to fix it up, and then get it moved?
That's what I was doing at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went so far as to move myself.
Oh, no kidding. I did some of that when I was growing up. My granddaddy had a mobile home moving business.
I don't ever want to go back.
Oh, no.
That's hard work.
Well, I threw a lot of haydock blocks when I was little. Boy, a lot of haydock blocks. When I was little, boy, we'd throw them haydock blocks, and my granddaddy down there in the fire ants in East Texas. Woo. Yeah, don't want to do that.
I didn't even know what fire ant was until I moved to Texas.
Somebody told me that I think you have to cross this side of the Red River, you have fire ants, and north of Red River, you don't.
Listen, I was hooking up actually in the trailer park up there. I had moved the trailer mobile home, and any rate, I was down and put my hand down in the water.
Yeah.
I felt something. I pulled it out. The whole hand was covered with ants. What's that? So of course I knocked it off. Well, then, that's how I got introduced to rain.
Fire ants are bad.
After that,
fire ants are bad. My mother-in-law got stung the other day, and I mean, her whole hand swelled up. It was insane.
They're not fun to deal with.
So, and then you eventually moved here.
Yeah.
Wow.
10 acres up around there on Oklahoma Street.
Okay, so
the mobile home up there.
Yeah.
And I'd moved here.
Why? Why don't you move here, Ernie?
Because I like Van. I really did like Van. I like Van overall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a wonderful town.
I like Van.
So you moved here, decided this is where you're going to set. You brought your kids.
4 kids.
Yeah. And when did you meet your wife?
Well, which one, Jane?
Yes.
I got divorced.
Okay. Well, how many wives have you had? Let's back that up. You had 2. So you had the youngin's mom, your oldest kids, and then you have Jane. So you've been married twice.
I had 2 sets. Basically, I have 2 older kids, and then 10 years I had 2 more kids.
Yeah. So 4 in all.
That was not the Jane.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Okay. So basically, I had 2, as I say, we call them the babies.
Call them the babies. Yeah.
Christian.
I do know Christian. Christian's a good guy.
Well, we used to call him the baby.
Yeah.
That was until they were probably 8 or 9 babies. But yeah. So then we got divorced.
Okay.
And then probably about 1.5 years, 2 years later, I married Jane.
Okay. Where'd you meet her at?
Through my daughter-in-law. I hate you now, just so you know if you're listening.
Oh.
No, I'm my daughter-in-law.
Oh.
No, my daughter-in-law introduced me to Jane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which was, listen, marrying Jane was my advertising.
Oh,
she's a good wife.
She seems like a good woman.
She's a very, very, very good wife.
Yeah.
She's got a good heart. Me and her got together. We've been married 12 years now.
I got you. Yeah. And so
now I got 6 kids instead of 4.
Yeah. I mean, you married into it. You're getting more kids.
They're my kids.
Yeah. It's definitely.
If they don't admit it, they're my kids.
So you moved here. You opened. You have.
I also opened up
the appliance shop.
Yes.
Burns Appliances. So you
which
moved.
I had been doing. Even I had over there at the used to be called the Vandal Village.
Yes.
I sold appliances and furniture and did tires right out of that for a long time. Then when I bought the trailer park, I bought where I'm
Mm-hmm.
So I bought them the same sort.
Okay. And so you still sell used appliances?
Yeah, I don't do the furniture.
Yeah. And so what made you get into politics?
Well, I like politics.
Yeah.
If you know anything about me, which you probably don't,
Yeah.
I'm very political. I mean, like when it comes to like state elections, national elections. I've always been one to be very political. I've always voted. I've always been. I was taught at a very young age because my dad fought World War II
Yeah.
and came out alive. And he told me, we have the right to vote, but we also have the responsibility to vote.
Correct.
You need to take in. You need to vote every time there's a vote. You need to take in.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just with the van, when I moved the van, when I got into van, which what brought me inside the list was the tornado.
Yeah.
So, and we were looking at the time. Actually we were had an appointment to look at this house where I live right now.
Yeah.
On that Monday.
Okay.
Tornado was on Sunday. We had an appointment on Monday
Mm-hmm.
to look at the house. Well, then that tornado happened, and so then after the tornado, we were scheduled to look, but now they said, well, you can get in that house right away.
Yeah.
Go rent the house. So they rented a house. So we rented for a few months, and then we bought it.
Yeah.
But that's what got me into it, to where I could.
Well,
and I often said if I lived in the city limits, I would run for city council.
I got you.
And so with that being said, and of course, I don't even want to bring up bad things, but there was times when I wasn't treated the best because I owned a mobile home. So I decided I didn't want other people. If I was getting treated bad, probably others were too.
Yeah.
And I said, if I ever get to town, I'm going to run for city council, and I'm going to be a councilman for everybody.
I got you.
I am not going to be that councilman that's for just the wealthy
Mm-hmm.
or the middle. I will be a councilman for every single person.
So
I don't care if you got 2 nickels to rub together or you got 2 million to rub together. I'm going to be your councilman.
when did you first run for council?
Probably. Well, when I moved to town, right after I had the 6 months. So when the first time I could run, I ran.
Yeah.
Which was in 20. What? I guess it'd be 2016.
Okay, so 2016.
Yes, because I got this will be at the end of this, in May. It'll be 6 years.
6 years you've been on the city council.
I've served on the city council.
Okay.
So I got into city council, but I got involved. I mean, I'm not just a councilman. I don't know if you know, but I got involved in a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and that's bad politics. There's a lot going on.
But I mean, no. I guess what I'm saying is, I didn't just get involved in city council. Like Jane's involved with the library, and she does a lot of that. So of course I help her there.
Yeah.
We got involved with the parks, and we just got involved overall.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I built my little train about that time. Well, right before that. Actually, before the tornado, I built the train. There's a little history in that too.
Oh yeah, what's the history?
Well, I wanted some. I have with my first granddaughter. I wanted something that we could grow and the kids could grow with and have fun. And we could have fun long term.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to build a train.
Mm-hmm.
So I built that train. I had help with the guy that works for me now. Me and him built it together.
Yeah.
But we was like, what do we build that at? What do we build that at? So then we started thinking, and the next thing you know, we were pulling washing machines apart, bolting them together, and building a frame.
Oh, so you use washing machine frames for the...
That's what that is.
Oh, no kidding.
That's why we call it the washing machine.
The washing machine. Ah.
That's what
okay. Got you.
So I built that for her. And then, of course, that dwarfed in, as we go, we got more grandkids. Now we got 14.
Okay.
I'm, 1. Now I'm 14.
Yeah, 6 kids will do that.
Yeah. But that was a very fun thing for me. I mean, but it dwarfed into city things. Now we're in trade. Now oil festival.
Yeah.
Now when we had the Easter festival, I can't think of what it was called. The sprinkling.
Yeah.
We get in. If they say, hey, will you come to the festival? We do.
Yeah.
We don't charge. We just go.
And it's how many seats you have on your train?
There's 4 trains, 8 seats, 2 per seat. So
Okay.
Haul 16 people.
So four cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it'll haul 4 per car.
Oh yeah. So it's 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
All right.
So
you ran for city council.
But before that, I had built the
train. Yeah.
But I mean, so the train. But I guess I used the train in a lot of it.
Yeah.
But yes, I did run for city council.
In 2016.
In 2016.
Who'd you run against?
Lindsey Neal.
Which
he's on city council now.
Yeah.
I beat him by 36 votes.
Oh no shit. How many people normally vote in one of these elections? I mean, do y'all have like
average?
Average. How many people?
250 to 300.
250 to 300 people is all that votes?
In Vanton. When the last election was 212 or 213.
No shit. So you're basically, I mean, not
every vote counts.
Every vote counts. And if someone actually is going to vote, I mean, like right now, y'all have signs. You have signs everywhere.
I do.
And how many signs did you give out or put out? How many signs were put out?
I'm probably at about 135.
Okay, so
I have more signs out than anybody, and the reason being that, well, one of the reasons is I had 70 from the first time. I had about 100 signs.
Yeah.
So I had 74 left.
Okay.
So then I was going, well, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll buy more signs. So do I buy 50 or do I buy 100? Well, the difference between 50 and 100 is like less than 50. So I bought 100.
I got you.
So I thought, well, I'll just put out, I'm going to sign it up. And so,
And you have?
I have.
Yeah. But I mean, with 230 people, to me, you can fit all of those people in the football stadium in like half the seats.
I agree. It's bad.
That's
bad and sad. But I'll tell you, there will be this time around, there'll probably be, in my mind,
yeah,
I'm thinking we're going to have closer to 400.
I'd like to see those numbers because I mean that would mean more people care, and that's always a good thing.
The reason we're going to have more is we have, like when the last election,
yeah,
there's always 3 up for election.
Okay.
So next election there'll be 3. Charles and Amanda and Lindsay will be up for re-election.
Okay.
But there was only one that was contested last time, so that meant low voter turnout.
I got you.
But this time, we have 4 people in place 4. We have 2 in my place,
mm-hmm.
And then we have.
So how many seats are actually on the council?
Well, 5 in the mayor.
5 in the mayor, so 6 in all. Yeah. So every 2 years? Every other year. So
every year there's an election.
Yeah, but every other year, 3 of those seats come up.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. It makes sense.
Yeah. So I feel like being that there is more people on the ballot than there's ever been.
Yeah.
You're going to have a higher turnout because every person's going to bring new voters.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like people that voted like in the last election, I will bring some that Charles didn't bring.
Yeah.
Charles and Lord, Helen's the top one. Anyway, them both probably bought some of their voters. They probably don't vote this time, or now maybe there will be voters.
I got you.
But like I'll bring. Honestly, this is crazy too. A lot of the folks in the mobile home park will vote.
Yeah.
I'll ask them to vote, and I get along with them folks.
Yes.
I'm not your average landlord.
Okay.
We get along. I mean, it's almost like a friendship in the end.
I got you.
I don't mistreat people. I'm not that guy when they rent for me that they're not what they're doing the first and they ain't paid by the 5th. I'm giving them an eviction. I don't do that.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
I go by their job. I mean, I got contractors. So then contractors don't always get paid on the 1st. They might be on a job. No, I'm not. I might get paid till the 15th or the 18th.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to kick them out because they're.
Yeah. And
I don't charge them a late fee. I don't do all that.
Yeah.
I just don't do that. I want to treat people like I would want to be treated.
Well, that's always what we strive for.
So the mobile home park is a very big voting block. People don't realize that.
Well, I mean, how many houses? You said you got 31 down there.
Yeah.
So out of that, each could have 2. That could be half your votes right there. 62 people possibly, right? Just there.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I've had people that have never voted and be 80 years old, and I've asked them for their vote.
Yeah.
And they told me flat out, I'm 80, I've never voted. Oh, I said, well, why don't you vote? Will you vote? Give me a vote. Yeah, I'll give you a vote. And they won't vote for nobody else.
Well, that means something.
I've got several people that have lived there. I got a lot of long term.
Yeah.
That have lived there in the trailer park more than 10 years.
Oh, no kidding.
I got some 20 years or more.
No kidding.
Bobby Getty.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's lived there because he lived there before me. But I guess what I'm saying is that, I got some old folks that have lived there more than 10, some of them 15.
Yeah. What's some of the, being that this is what, your third time around, right?
This is my
fourth time around.
I didn't have anybody after the first time. There were 2 times that I didn't have anybody.
Nobody run against you. Yeah. So you had your first time you run against, you said Lindsay? Is that what it was? Lindsay, and then the next 2 times nobody ran against you, and then this time you got somebody running against you. So what's some of the, over that, what is it, 6 years? It's been 6 years, 8 years. Mm-hmm. What's some of the big issues that you've seen happen?
Like bad issues?
No, just things that, issues? All the above. I mean, what's some things that come across the city council that you've seen? That
I've seen?
Yes.
Well, okay, we've done the new park.
Yeah.
Okay, and there were some issues with the new park.
Yeah.
And there was some issues going on.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, the cement work was bad, a lot of it.
Gotcha.
We actually, me and Charles Ryan, I would check on it, just kind of,
mm-hmm.
and he was checking, and we noticed a lot of issues going on. So we contacted Charles. I did, and I asked for a
Charles West.
Charles West.
Yeah.
And I asked if the engineers and the people running the job, Garrett, I said, we need to meet with them. We need to tell them, we're about to give them their money because this is $1 million park.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we need to make sure we're spending people's money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got to treat this like it's our money.
Yeah.
And we've got to say, hey, there's some problems going on here. I mean, I've had other council members say, we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't be meeting with them. It's not our job. Well, we need to back Charles West up on the situation because he was talking to him.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get it. Well, now, when the council members who control that first.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like we needed to have a meeting with them. So we called a meeting and basically told them, they said, well, when we got there, they said, okay, well, we want to hear what's your problem.
Yeah.
And I told them straight out, concrete work is crap.
Mm-hmm.
Just it. It's nothing we're paying for. And they ended up replacing a third of that.
Oh, no kidding.
A third of the, I don't know if you've been to the new park.
Not since the new renovation's been made.
Well, the new park over here.
Yes.
Well, that was big, all the way around that pond.
Mm-hmm.
A third of that was a lot of the concrete. And so, but we basically, we didn't demand it, but we said, hey, we're not going to give you your money, all of it. If you're going to give us crappy stuff, we're not paying.
Yeah. So how does that work? I mean, how does the city work? So, for example, that land was donated or something?
That land was donated.
Donated for a park. Yes.
For a park.
Okay. And then it comes to the city council.
Well, we got a grant.
Okay.
Offered. It was called $1 million grant.
All right.
And so, in $1 million grant like that, it's 50-50. So that means the city puts up 500, they put up 500.
Got you. Okay.
Now, with that being said, we could count the land as part of that 500, the value of the land.
So we'd have to put up as much.
Any value, anything that we had done when we cleared the land.
Yeah.
Any of that was all to go into that 500,000. So now you're getting a $1 million park
mm-hmm.
for, I don't know, I think it's a little over 300.
Okay.
So we got a $1 million park, which is a great park. I mean,
mm-hmm.
we'll soon be able to have fishing up there for the kids.
Yeah.
It'll be free. We'll be able to do paddle boats. I mean, it's a nice park. It
yeah.
just is. But we didn't want a substandard park because that park was going to be, we're going to have that park for 25, 30, 40, 50 years.
You are right.
I mean, park's going to be there when I'm gone dead.
Yep.
So we can't have a substandard park.
I agree with you.
As city council, if we don't speak up and say, hey, we're not having that.
So,
even though Charles was speaking up, but he wasn't getting the results that we needed.
Yeah.
So I felt like we needed to get behind him, show him that we're okay, Charles. You're speaking now. There's 6 more.
Yeah.
But the problem is, a lot of them didn't know there was problems going on because they hadn't been going up there.
Yeah.
Looking. And I'm not putting anything against them, but I couldn't pick up the phone and say, hey, guess what, Amanda, or guess what, Ryan? There's problems going on up here.
Yeah.
Because that constitutes a quorum, because you can only talk to one other person.
Okay.
So with that being a quorum, I felt like we needed to call a meeting so that now we can discuss, hey, we can sit here as a group and discuss the problem, walk around the park and discuss our problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, we got our problems cured. They admitted there was a problem. They knew there was a problem. You know, part of it, I guess, was COVID, but a lot of it was they had a bad, the main supervisor there was not.
I got you.
And it was actually the daughter of the owner, but they knew there was bad problems.
Okay.
So, but they were willing to fix them in the end. But I don't think they were going to fix them. The changes started after that council, they had that council meeting.
Okay.
Changes started because they knew then, well, you know, Charles has got the backing of his council, so we better fix this, or we're not going to get our money.
Yeah.
I mean, it come down to that.
So y'all have done the part. What's some other issues that's predominant right now?
Water tower, of course.
The water tower outside of town. Yeah.
It's a very big ticket item.
Yeah.
We've done that. That's been done for a few years. Everybody, you know, they mentioned streets, and we even had some that say, "Well, when I get on there, we're going to get all these streets done." Well, then they're not paying attention because you're not going to get all the streets done.
Yeah, streets.
First off,
streets tear up.
Well, and they're expensive.
Yeah.
You know, what was $100,000 street a year and a half ago is now nearly a $400,000 street.
Oh, no kidding.
That's how much it went up. So there's only so much money you can budget for streets. And then people say, well, we'll put all our budget into streets and we'll not worry about the parks. Why would you spend money on parks? Well, if you want the town to grow, you're going to have to do both.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do. So with the streets, you know, if we can get 3 streets a year done, that's a pretty big deal.
So what do you mean by a street? You mean
like we did Ohio Street.
Okay.
From one, we did East Ohio.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big deal because it's not, a lot of times it's not just the street. You got to take out the sewer and the water, or you're going to, because the sewer and water is 50 years old.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be digging up on a water line in the middle of your brand new street.
You are correct.
And if you do not do that, you will be doing that, and then you'll be mad. Mm-hmm. So you know you got to spend first thing. I think we spent nearly $200,000 getting water out of there.
So how much is the city council involved in all that?
Well, the way it works is, you know, usually the administrator will bring, okay, these are the streets we kind of want to do.
Okay.
Then of course we take the vote to have them done.
I got you.
You know, do we approve of this street? Do we not? You
know, I got you.
So, and which sometimes council members vote no.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, you can't say, well, I'm for getting the streets done, and then say, well, no, I don't want to do it. You got to vote when it comes time to do the street, you know. But
so what's some things coming in the next 2 years that you want to see happen?
Well, I mean, things that are coming. I mean, of course, I'd want to see them happen, but there's a few things I want to see happen. But what we got coming is we got 4 restaurants.
Which restaurants?
We got Wendy's. I can't tell you all of them.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But we got 4 brand new restaurants.
Okay.
We've got the across the interstate there.
Yeah.
We got the product coming. We got that coming. We've got a lot of things coming in the very near future.
Is that in the city limits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We got annexed in.
That's what.
And that's one of the things at the very beginning, 6 years ago. I said, hey, we need to get our infrastructure across the interstate.
Yeah.
I ran on that 6 years ago.
Okay.
That was before it was even talked about over there.
And we did it.
And it took years.
How
far? Say I got done one, because here's the deal. I'm one council member.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can say, well, you're going to go in there and I'm just going to do this. It don't work that way. You're one of 5 that vote.
Yeah.
So when you're, you know, and it takes time. It takes time. It takes money. So you can say all you want. I just want to get across that interstate. We're going to make that happen. Okay. It don't work that way. It works. You got to get the city. You got to have the city administrator in place, which we do have.
Yeah.
He's a numbers guy and he's very good. So you got to have that guy who can make things happen. And so after a few years, it happened. It wasn't I walked into city council and then it happened the next year. You We're talking, it's just now.
Yeah.
But you got to make, it's like anything else. You got to plan.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do. You got to check, and you got to check.
So
we plan to get across the interstate. Now we got to do that project. Then we got to check how things are going.
Did you get? But we're across the interstate now.
We are across the interstate with our infrastructure. So now that's coming. Now we got things coming over there. And there'll be a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the town will be different in 5 years as far as up there. And the good part of that is all that traffic that's coming to town is staying out there. Mm-hmm. It's not getting into our middle of our town and into our sites.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing for us. But with that being said, that's tax revenue that will come. We don't got it right now, a lot of it.
Yeah.
But that's tax revenue. So the people that are driving down the interstate are going to help pay for the infrastructure that happens inside of our town. So now, can we do, now in the future, instead of doing 3 or 4 streets, or maybe even 2 streets this year because of the price of the materials and the price of the way things are, now we can double that because we'll have that tax coming. Now, we don't get that. We don't see a lot of that tax for the first year or so. But after that, you start seeing sales tax and property tax. And you start seeing, so a lot of that will pay. So what we'll have is we will have outside entities paying for inside.
Yeah.
Which is a very, very good thing. So when people say, well, I don't want it to build up out there. Well, if you want your streets fixed, you do.
Yeah.
If you want infrastructure done, you will. Now with infrastructure, like I said, the parks, you got to bring everything up together. Because it's like this. I had one guy tell me one time, well, stop working on the parks. Stop doing parks. Put money there and what could we do with that? Well, here's the bottom line. It's like if you talk to a real estate agent, the first person when a person comes to buy a house from out of town here, they don't say to them, so, hey, how's that sewer under the ground? Or how's that street over there? It's on the other side of town. The first thing out of their mouth is, how's the school? Mm-hmm. What kind of parks? Do you have a library? That's what they want to know.
Yeah.
And so if you want your town to grow and you want to bring growth to your town, you got to bring it all up. You can't say, well, I'm just going to bring this up and let this go. You got to bring it all up.
I got you.
I mean, that's my feeling.
That makes sense.
I could be totally wrong.
And if that to me is something that should be, I mean, it's long-term thinking. You have a plan that's not going to happen right now. And I mean, this is your fourth go around on the city council.
Yeah.
So you have a track record of this plan working out. Because I mean, we're across interstate. There's 2 Loves out there now.
That's right.
And a Taco Bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife.
Well, and of course, when you say, what do I want to see in the future? I want to see more streets done.
Yeah.
Which we will see more streets done. I want to see more businesses come into town. But I want to see small businesses that come downtown too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But do we want the large traffic downtown? Probably not.
Yeah.
But we are going to get some of
that.
Yeah. I want to see more added to the parks, like I told you.
Mm-hmm.
A swimming pool. That is something that's been on my heart for a while. Now, we haven't, as of right now, we don't. To tell you that a swimming pool is going to come in next year, I'd be sitting here lying.
Yes.
But if we plan for a swimming pool, but if we don't ever plan for a swimming pool, we're never going to have a swimming pool.
Yeah.
But if we start planning for that, now we can start figuring out how we're going to get the money and how we're going to get things done. Start laying the groundwork there.
That's how this whole, hey, y'all come on the podcast that's running for the seats, it started was because me and you talked about the swim pool, and then I got to asking, that was, everybody else was running. That was the only question I had. Hey, what do you feel about swim pool?
I told you that, hey,
you did. You did tell me.
I told you that I would be pushing for that, and I will be pushing for that. And another one there, it's I can't think of the name of it. It's kind of like you build a big ball, almost like dodgeball. But that would be.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've seen that. It's like an Israeli soccer game or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the kids love that. That's the kind of things that the kids are doing today.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing when I say I think young. Okay, I've got to think not what do I want for the city? What do I want for this town?
Yeah.
It's got to be I got to look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
What does the 15-year-old want? What's the 8-year-old want? What's the 50-year-old want?
So
we got to look at the whole picture.
You're thinking of more things to have the city involved with, like parks and basketball courts and pools.
Yes,
instead
the basketball
of just
court is definitely on the.
Instead of just statues of Ernie Burns around town.
Yeah, nothing to me. Nothing to me. You know.
Well, my wife's going to make a statue of me just for my yard. So I mean that might be looking at your house pretty soon.
Oh Lord. Time for a fence.
Time for a fence, a front yard fence. Yeah. You were actually talking about building a fence out to the road at one time, were you?
Well, the wife wants to expand it out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little bit more lazy than I don't really want to do that right now. But.
Getting a little older. So, what's something you want to? Because this whole interview, I just really want to get to know you and let some other people know who you are, where you come from, what you believe in. So, what's some of the things that you want people to know that's going to vote for you in the next couple months?
I think that you can kind of look back at my voting history.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find that it's very solid.
Yeah.
I try to vote conservative, but yet I try to see things happen.
Yeah.
And I don't just vote on something, or like if we vote on an event, I take part in that event.
Okay.
I'm not the guy that doesn't show up. I'm the guy that shows up and works. I'm the guy that shows up with my brain, shows up with my physical body, and the guys that work for me most of the time get roped into stuff.
Yeah.
Helping. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm that guy that don't just vote. I'm the guy that really does. I take part. I mean, I'll tell you, for instance, of a couple of things that have, when you ask me, well, what's something that we have done that I'd be kind of proud of, I guess.
Yeah.
Two things.
Okay.
The July 4th. The celebration we have at July 4th.
Mm-hmm. Fireworks display.
Yeah. Do you know Suzanne Ferguson?
I do not.
She called up my wife and said, why don't you guys have anything for July 4th? And actually, Dawn Smith and me were sitting around the table there. We were just chatting about nothing about city. And we all said, well, why don't we just do something? And it was like 3 weeks before the July 4th. We said, okay, well, because she wanted to put her chickens in the parade. She said, I get to do that in Grand Saline. How come you guys don't have anything?
Chickens.
Yes.
Okay.
We said, okay, well, we're going to do it then. And so we said, okay, let's do it. So then 3 weeks later, we had the first July 4th. There was no fireworks. We had it up there at the old park.
Yeah. Which
now has the splash pad,
which
is a good thing. I'm very well used by the young one.
Yes.
The little one.
Yeah.
But at any rate, because that was one of our votes. That's why I'm throwing that in there.
The splash pad.
It is a big deal, though. I mean,
it is.
It is a very well used. But so we had a bike parade, and we threw vendors together. We just had a July 4th, and like, bam, overnight we had 300 or 400 people.
So it means there was a need for it.
That meant there was a need.
That's right.
The next year, the city took it over, which is not complaining.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have the fireworks.
Oh, the fireworks is great this year.
Yeah. We couldn't put the fireworks together at that time. We didn't have the money to throw $20,000, but we could. The city, now we take a portion of I think it's like $15,000 for the fireworks display. But now we have the fireworks, and we had the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. So that was a yearly thing. But that happened around my kitchen table.
No kidding.
That was one thing that actually happened right there at my kitchen table. It's there currently. Another thing that happened at my kitchen table was I think it was either right before I got elected or right after. But Dawn had come over and said there's an elderly lady in town that they're getting ready to. She's got an old building that needs to be torn down, and it was falling in.
Oh, I know this. I remember this story. Go ahead.
And the building was falling in, and Dawn, if the city does that, we're gonna have to put a lien on her property, and I wouldn't want to see that. I said, okay, well, let's do something about it. Let's go over there and tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get it. Let's organize something. Let's get it tore down. So we started throwing people together. We started making calls. We got donations. We got the dumpsters donated. We got the people that would come in and help us get it tore down. We went over there. We tore the building down. We mowed our grass. We got our yard trimmed around. We had a couple big trees down that needed to be cut down. As a group, and we got all that done.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him when he said, well, the city would have. I said, well, when I get on city council, that will change. We will never, ever take property or put a lien on someone's property that can't get something done. Now, if it's a 30-year-old that's healthy and can get out there and they don't want to take care of business, then okay. But if it's an 80-year-old or a disabled person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some compassion.
Yes, we're gonna do something about that. We will never ever let that happen.
I remember when all that went down, and it was definitely commendable.
Well, and we had people over there cooking.
I saw
it. We had and we never made anybody feel uncomfortable because we needed some help.
Yeah.
So from that we started our van neighbors helping neighbors. And at that time, with us being on council, we thought, well, what do? We don't really want to be president and all that. Well, then Charles Ryan, he became he helped us, and so he became the president of Van Neighbors. Then a year or two later, he had stepped off, and then even though I was on city council, I became the president of Van. But that was formed with right there at the kitchen table with me and Jane and Don Smith, the current mayor. And so we was able to form that, and we did. I mean, like we've helped people, and by God, I'm telling you, that one guy, man, we go over there and we helped him. Everybody is always so thankful.
Yeah,
because that one guy we did, his wife had been bedridden for 17 years.
Oh goodness,
he just couldn't do it. He was older. He was in his 80s. He couldn't do it, and so to go over there and help people like that's a real passion.
Yeah. And I've heard some good things that Neighbors is Helping Neighbors has done.
We've done some things. We've put roofs on people. We've done different things. We've tore a lot of several buildings down and got them cleaned up. Burn a house over here. Now, did we always have our physical hands on it? Sometimes we didn't, but we have it a lot.
Well, I see you brought a note list. Do you have anything?
Yeah, we're covering most of it.
We're covering most of it.
Oh yeah.
Just wanted to make sure if you had anything else you want to get out, because I mean, you might not feel this, but we've been in an hour and a half already.
Have we really?
Yeah. You told me I only had 20 minutes. I told you could talk.
Well, but I just want to express, though, that anything like the Neighbors Helping Neighbors and all that, that's done by a group of people.
Yeah.
Now I did it form around that table with you. Same with that. But I want people to know that it takes everybody to make that happen.
Yeah.
You could say, well, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And it's not going to do it. You got to have a group. It's just like on the city council, any vote we take, it's got to be the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be a 3-2 vote. And that's how you get it done. But it takes the group. But as far as, as a council member, I am the guy that I am going to work hard for you. If you look at my past history.
Yeah.
And what I've done around town, not just on city council. It's something that I do that most other council, well, all of them don't really do. I go to the EDC meetings. I go to the planning and zoning meetings because you see what they vote on is going to come before us.
Yes.
As the council. So I feel like if at all possible, I'm going to say I don't forget, but if at all possible, I try to be at those meetings because I'm at those meetings and I know what's coming to me and I know what it took for that to get to me.
Yeah.
I know the prior discussion. I know.
Hold on one second. Hey, let me finish this right quick. If y'all want to give me 1 second to finish this one up. I thought he wasn't gonna make it till later. He said it's headed. Yeah, I am too. All right, so let's finish this.
But at any rate, so I'm the council member. I go that extra mile.
Yeah,
I really do. I go the extra mile on the meetings. I go, like we got a big vote coming up. That's really, really big for the city of Van.
Which is what?
Which is the zoning. Okay, we did our master plan. Now that was a big vote. Now for that master plan, we're doing the zoning ordinance.
Okay.
And them zoning ordinances, it's like I can honestly say that it's got me worried, but not worried. But it's something that I know that it affects our town for the next 25 years.
Yeah.
It affects how contractors are going to come and the growth of our town. And so that is one that we I feel like a lot of council members aren't taking it seriously, and maybe they are. Maybe I'm not seeing, because I feel like we need to be at those meetings because they're 3 hours long. They're boring.
Yes,
but they are meetings that we need to be at, and we need, because we're talking about everything from how far a house is going to be set off the street, how large a house is going to be built, and what houses are going to be built here, and where we're going to allow businesses, and so it's a big deal.
Yeah,
I mean that's probably one of the biggest votes that will be taken. Now, with that being said, they were going to do it in May.
Yeah,
which that's an impossible. You can't take a vote like that because we have new members. We're going to have a new member on city council.
Mm-hmm.
We could have two.
Yeah,
we can't. That cannot, whether I'm there or not, cannot and should not be a vote that we take without their involvement, their knowledge. I mean, they haven't attended the meeting. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I got
That's
you.
not fair to them.
Yeah,
and we need time to study that because then it will be presented to the city. The folks get a say in that. They can look at that, which they better.
Yeah,
because it affects their town.
Yeah,
but I guess what I'm saying is that is a very, 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 very big vote, and that needs to be voted on. Maybe I'll make some people mad here, but it should be in August, not even June or July.
So
it's scheduled for a June vote, but it's
push it back and give people time to educate themselves.
Our town for 25 years.
Yeah,
maybe longer. So a vote like that, the person or people coming in, new or even the ones that are there, got to have time to make sure that is right.
Yeah,
it's got to be a very correct vote. We can't mess it up in any way.
Okay.
And so that's probably the biggest vote, maybe possibly, that if I'm still on council, that I will take.
Huh? Okay.
And that new members will take.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Ernie, and everybody go out and vote. When is the election? When is it actually?
May 7th.
May 7th.
Early voting is April 25th.
No.
Through May 4th, and then May 7th is the actual vote.
Okay.
And just so you know, I'm the last person on the ticket.
You're the last person on the ticket.
That's an easy one to remember.
Easy one to remember.
Listen, my counterpart there that's running against me.
Yeah.
He said he won that because he's second to last. Well, it's going to be harder to say second to last. The last one on the ticket.
Politics.
Hey, and vote right.
Vote
for
right.
Ernie Burns.
Ernie Burns. Thank you, Ernie. We appreciate that.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.